I organized the complete relaunch of the Ford Mustang in Europe. So this is a massive budget. We talk about a $1.5 million project. So I chose 5 designers per countries, and we work on 6 countries. And we created some iconic cars with different artists. It's always really working. So you have the artist in front of you, and I created collaboration also with media. So it was really a really intense and deep content production projects. So we reached some crazy KPIs on that project. So you see, there is always a lot of details. The art direction is always super well done. A lot of attention on everything. It's perfection is just it's not a necessity. It's an obligation now.
No, I love it. I love it. And you know what's amazing about it.
And then we go to the Arsenal, which is my baby. It's like a synthesis of what I have done, and I think I could have not done that project when I was 20, because you need a strong experience, and the concept was quite simple. During all that years of collaboration with a major company, I discovered that a lot of brands were coming. You all want to make your brand, and you are right, because you are all brands. The personal branding is super important. So during the last 20 years, we have seen a lot of new industrial brand coming. I'm now in a Submarine, which is not $1 million, but a $2.5 million. How can a man can wake up a day and say, I'm going to create a... Yeah.
But you told me it's $1 million. That's what I'm paying for that Submarine.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to talk about the deal later. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but with all the subscribers, you can afford that, no?
No, it was wait.
And and I'm obsessed about the guy Elon Musk. So I met Elon 6 times. I met him 20 years ago, and he was literally placing some batteries into some Lotus Elise yellow. And this guy, why Tesla is selling cars? That's the good question. Why people buy Tesla? Because he's selling a dream. Because Elon Musk is like Neo, you know, the Arch of Neo in the Bible. The guy saving the world by taking a chimp, a woman, a man, a monkey, and he's pulling everyone on the sea. Elon Musk is doing the same. Elon Musk is going to save the world, and he's going to send us on Mars. Life on Mars is going to be a nightmare. But in the subconscious, that's what you buy when you buy a Tesla. So he's selling us a dream.
Now I got to say something because I know he's going to take a swig of a Coke, but guys, write this down. And I've said this before. When you're up to something that's bigger than you, people follow. That's what it takes to create a movement. You know, that's what drew me to Grant Cardone. That's what drew me towards 10X as a movement. That's what drew me to you, Patrice. I mean, what drew me to you is that I can sense in you there's a movement, and I was called. It was like a gravity. It pulls me. It's undeniable. It's inescapable. It's imminent. And it's like I can't pull myself out from that gravity. And so when you create something that's bigger than you, Tesla is not selling cars. They're saving the planet. And that puts people into a different category conversation. It makes you skip the features, the benefits, the logic, or the irrationale of buying that car. And it's just like, I'm in to save the planet too. So Patrice, tell me how the Arsenal came to be. Tell me, let's see what's going on.
Don't be humble, because people don't want to follow shy people with small dreams. You need to have big dreams, and you need to sell a dream. So this guy, Elon Musk, showed a way of how you could create crazy brands. Because in fashion, it's easy to understand that, okay, you are a fashion designer, you want to create a fashion brand, you find a supplier, it is quite easy. But when it goes to cars, planes, submarines, drones, it's really difficult. So there is a mix of different elements, like the startup nation. Everyone can leverage millions of dollars and make a company, do access to the technology. The social media was completely transformed the game. So I decided to stop what I was doing and stop working with big brands, and I decided to become the biggest marketplace for the independent builders. The independent builders, Elon Musk was an independent builder 15 years ago, and now he has a value which is 30 times the value of Ford, which is 200 years. There is a lot, the art direction is extremely important in the project. I have created a brand. I have not created a store or a marketplace, because at the end of the day, the only remaining thing is the brand. Want to say something, Rich?
I've never taken more pictures of any conversation ever before. I mean, I'm bubbling. I've sweat this out. I change.
Yeah, I'm sweating too because I'm in a submarine. Origins, always go looking for the past. I didn't give a name like a trendy name like the Black Garage or the High Beast, whatever. No, I wanted a strong name. So I was obsessed about Venezia. I love this city, and I discovered that Arsenal has two significations. First is Dar al Sina. It means the workshop in Arab. But in Venice, the Arsenal was the first shipyard of Marco Polo in the 16th century. And the guy was making ships. And I read a book about this, and he was able to build a ship every 36 hours. Why 36 hours? Because when he was traveling, if a ship is sinking, it sinks in 36 hours. So the next boat is coming to save the guys. So I was obsessed about that story, and I decided to use the name. I faced a little bit some issue with the football club, but I explained them that I was completely doing something different. And thanks to that,
now by the way, folks, just I don't mean to interrupt it, but everything you're saying, Patrice, is such thought leadership. People write this down. That's story. You see, origin or the origination of that which inspires you sparks you. And so when you look at that, I mean, if Patrice didn't have to be born back in the, the 16th century, or rather the 11th century, he was able to look back to find a story that's so compelling and aligned with his mission that story's become Patrice. If you go draw blood from that guy, you will find cool, you will find Coca-Cola, and you will find that story. That story is a part of his DNA. So continue, please, Patrice.
Yeah, it's important because I didn't do that to have something to say. I did it because I needed something really into the DNA. But when I do interview, last year I did almost 200 interview, and I do almost 200 interview every year. And when I start talking about that, it's done. The job is done. You know, I can say everything after. You got the first statements. After that, I think it's really important to bring a cinematography, to bring a little bit of humor, to create your own baseline. I'm always saying you got the logo, you got the baseline, and you got the brand manifesto. The manifesto is really important. So I work also manifesto, and our baseline, if it's not on the Arsenal, it doesn't exist. So that's the last place where you can find the most ultimate and crazy projects. And basically, the Arsenal is what we call the world's leading online marketplace for the micro, industrial, and independent builders. So today, after 3 years, we have signed contracts and we represent 125 brands on the market. So yes, we are the biggest ecosystem. And the good thing with these builders is we don't just sign a contract of distribution, we sign a complete contract. It means that I can do quite whatever I want with them, from sourcing, promotion, strategy, PR, selling, bringing investors, and they become our friends, and we get a fantastic relation with all of them. I'm going to show you a short first movie. So when I started the project, which is a complete digital project, I get back to the print always. I don't know, because I'm obsessed. So I started by making a book. The book, I printed 10,000 copies of it, and it has been sold out in a year. The book was printed on a special paper in Italy. The cover was made with Alcantara. It was a crazy, fucking beautiful book. And that movie is showing some spread of the book and some first video motion of the project we are selling.
I don't know if I'm watching or if I'm shopping. I don't know which one I'm doing. I think I'm like, I'll take that one. I'll take that one. Does that come in blue? Look at this. This is crazy. And this stuff is real, right, Patrice? It all exists. It's in market. It's available.
Yeah, everything is for sale. Everything is. You have some different steps of advancement of each project, from small startup to most advanced projects. But now it's going really, really quick. I'm going to give you a crazy example later with a company called Meignan. So you see, we cover 4 elements. So one more time, based on something super strong. So we cover the earth, we cover the air, we cover the sea, and we cover beyond. Beyond is the space, beyond is your dream, beyond is the art. And the next movie is what I call the video manifesto. So it's really a digital piece showcasing the two universe, the reality and the digital world.
You see, it would seem to me that what people aren't doing in our business and in the world of leading others, inspiring people, solving problems is we're not getting creative. And it would sound like what Patrice so far, what I've seen so far is that you've turned shopping and the view of all things mobility and all things cool into an experience. How important to you is the customer experience at the moment they lay eyes on your stuff, that they immediately feel they are immersed in a world of feeling cool, hip, and futurized?
It's all about experience. That's what I was telling to my staff yesterday. We did a creative review, and there is a few people actually in the store, and I will show you later the store. It's all about the experience. You are selling an experience, and people sometimes they come to see me and say, "Oh, I bought this and this," and they spend like $1,000 because you're cool, you're energetic, and I want to be part of that. And it's exactly about that. What are you giving? What are you sharing? What are you delivering as an experience? It seems easy for me now because it became my lifestyle, and for me it's creating crazy experience is my savoir-faire. I'm always comparing the creativity like cooking. You know, some guys they born and they know how to cook, and some other people they learn how to cook. But when you cook, you create like an experience, you know. And when you serve your place, you want to really offer an experience. The last part of the presentation is about the physical stores, and you're going to be, I think, a little bit amazed about what I'm going to show you. So I was in Paris, I was doing the project, I was traveling the world, but I didn't want to have any physical stores because it's quite difficult, and I was not ready to pay all the expenses and stuff like that. And one day I received a call from a guy called Craig Robbins. Craig Robbins is one of the most influential and creative guys on the market of the real estate. He comes from a long family of builders in Miami, and he created the design district, the real first design district. And the design district is the most experiential retail zone in the world. And he called me and said, "Okay, I would like to meet you." And he offered me 2 first tickets to come to Miami. So I get there with my wife, and we walk on the 41st Street. So we go through Gucci, Lanvin, Prada, Tesla, Off-White, Rick Owens, and we arrive in the front of a huge building. And he showed me the building like this, and he told me that's gonna be the Arsenal. And I say, "Yeah." But I was telling myself, this guy is crazy. I mean, I got no fucking money. And I told to him, and his staff was following us. And I told him, "Yeah, it's great, but you know," and he said, "No, don't worry. I want you to be there." And he financed us for 2 years. So this is what we did in Miami. This is one of a part of our stores, and this is the campaign. So we are not humble. Huh? That's the best garage. That's not the best garage in the world. That's the best garage in Miami. So there is a lot of humor about that. This is how we showcase the thing. When we sell a Formula One, it's always with a piece of art in the back. That was the building I was talking about, and that's the building where we are. So you see, it's really, really massive. It's in one of the best streets in Miami. So it's quite unbelievable, from a simple logo, a simple story about Venezia, and then a book, and then the online marketplace, and now the physical stores in only 2 years. But this is how we showcase a $25,000 BMX in collaboration with Dior. So I'm going to show you. You want to go back for the cap screen, Richie?
I totally got it already. You know the reason why? I'm going to buy that bike. I want that bike.
It's still available.
I got a bike. I got a sweater. I got 6 shoes. I got a book. I got a submarine on my list so far.
Okay, I'm going to show you a small video about the project.
That's epic, man. That's good. Give him some
Last,
love.
last but not least, this is one of the most crazy story I have to share with you.
But you got to hold on, because I mean, let's let the pixie dust settle for a second. That's Miami. I mean, Miami is not a friendly place to make it. That's what's so epic about Miami. I mean, Patrice, I mean, to give birth to a Parisian-born dream and vision in Miami is in itself a feat besides none, especially in the world of automotive, in the world of design, in the world of fashion, where you're neighboring the Bapes, the Supremes, you're down the street from Flight Club. I mean, you've got the Versace's and the Louis Vuitton and the, I mean, all the other big mega brands have got billions behind them. You coming in humbly as someone who can appreciate to curate all things that are creative. I mean, that's magic. It's like creating a secret club, right? Inside of an existing secret club.
Yeah, and imagine I'm French. I got no visa. I got no cash. I got a lot of power, but it's not my country. So I literally arrived in the US with 120,000 US dollar, which was my saving to buy a small house in the middle of nowhere in France. And I put all my money on the table. I get my visa. I opened the store. I took the stuff. And in April, I'm broke. Literally broke. I got no money, but I don't care about money. I'm not doing that for money. I'm going to be rich a day, but I'm going to sell the company $20 million. But for the moment, I don't give a shit about money. I sold all my watches. I don't have any more cars. I just need to feed my brain. And
hold on. Folks, is this not a poster child of living and leading from zero? Living and leading from zero. This is exactly what Grant Cardone talks about. This is exactly what it means to go to zero. You see a watch on this wrist? I mean, that's why birds of a brother flocks together, because I mean, we understand what it means to just be all in on that which you're passionate, committed, and wanting more of, right? Pat my hand. I mean, I salute you, but Macau is a whole different beast. Like, you took down Hulk Hogan in Miami. Now you took on King Kong, called Macau.
Okay, it's quite true. So I'm obsessed about social media, and I'm quite good in IG, and I make 95% of everything via IG. My staff is coming from Instagram DM. My client, my investors, I make my pitch deck and first fund leverage via Instagram. Guys, it's really working for real. And same for you. I know it's working. You are in direct contact with the guy into the pocket, and why it's working, because that's the last space of liberty. You can talk to a CEO and send him a DM, and he's going to reply because no one is looking at him, and no assistant, no wife. So it's an incredible thing. So I post a lot of things. I make the show, you know, and the world is seeing that. And in April, I'm in a really bad situation, but I'm still happy. And I receive a DM from a guy, and he say, "Oh, I'm the VP of a company called Melco. I would like to talk to you." So we jump on the phone, and Melco is a $16 billion company held by a guy called Lawrence O. His father is Stanley O, and Stanley O opened the gambling industry in Macau. Macau is 5 times the global income of Las Vegas, and the casino they have is called City of Dreams. City of Dreams is making 1 time the complete income of Las Vegas. And they call me and say, same story. "Oh, we would like to invite you." So I say, it's funny because it's the repeating story with Miami. So I go in Macau, I arrive in the casino, and it's not just a casino. The casino is made by Zaha Hadid. Zaha Hadid is the best architect in the world. She died 3 years ago. She's from Lebanon. She's a genius. The coffee is made by Pierre Hermé. The food is made by Alain Ducasse. It's insane. It's just above everything. So I arrive in the spot, and they show me the casino. And in the middle of the casino, there is like a mini soccer space, 26,000 square feet. And they show me the space, and they ask me how much, because the Chinese, you know, they are quite special. They are direct, and how much for what? You want the cap? You want a hoodie? You want the company? What are we talking about? No, how much you need to make the arsenal in 3 months with everything? I say, do I have an hour to make the code? So yeah, we need the code for tomorrow. So I go back to my room. I started to make a deck, and I'm quite good in decks. So I make a crazy deck. And the morning I see the guy in the coffee, and I say, yeah, I will need $1 million. You know, I think it could be enough. And say, okay, let's go. I go back to Miami. I get the wire. I stay 2 days in Miami, and I go back to Macau, and I did that. So that's the casino we are talking about. It's called City of Dream. And you see the Zadi structure. So this is just a simple campaign. One of the campaign, they have invested in 600 billboards of this size. They have everything is crazy, and that's on the right. That's the door of the store, and this is the store. This is just a small preview of the store in Macau. It's open 24/7. You have 8 people of staff, and I have done everything: the layout, the sourcing, the outfit of the staff, the menu, the everything from scratch in 90 days and nights. It was crazy. I get out there from there completely exhausted. The funny thing is when we do the opening, the PR director, she told me, oh, we don't have a great budget for the event. I hope you're going to be okay, but we have a surprise for you. We know you love Elon Musk. I say, is there? No. They invited the translator, the private translator of Elon Musk, for me to talk about what I was doing to the Chinese press. That's another world. And so the press day is arriving, and I see a line, which is a long line. That was the journalists waiting for the interview. They invited 200 journalists, 220 journalists. I made 220 interviews, and the day after, because in China, you know, it's quite different than in the US, the journalists, when they come, they talk about you. And we had a crazy, massive plan, media plan on the show.
That is so cool. Hey, listen, I know that we can probably talk about this forever, but here's a question for you. Are you open to some questions along the way, Patrice?
Sorry?
Are you open to some questions?
Yeah. Would love to. Yeah.
You know, Monica, you have a question for Patrice. This is Monica from Toronto, Ontario, actually my home city. What is it that you want to ask a Piet?
Hi, Patrice.
Hello.
It's been mind-blowing what you've shown us so far. I'm wondering, the question is twofold. How do you know, or how do you get the inspiration for a particular project? And how do you dream it up? And how do you know that this is it?
It's a good question. It's like if you would ask the question to a really known fashion designers, it's in your blood. The response is inside you already. You are dedicated already I mean, it's like a destiny, you know. You have it inside, and you just need to find what is the good thing for you. Why are you really dedicated to? And then when you find it, first you have to be happy about that, because it's not for everyone. I mean, discovering where you are really good at, and then you need to go full throttle. And me, I mean, the oldest pictures I have, I was 2 years old, and I have a screwdriver in my hand, and above me there is an engine, and my father is fixing the engine on a plane. And he was not an engineer, he was an architect, but he was making planes in our home. So I was born into that, and it took me a long way. I was talking about that for 20 years. I was making and producing and doing contents and doing crazy things. And so now I got the skills to do that, and I'm ready for everything. I have no fear. I think I'm really happy because I feel that I can do whatever I want now, but it took me a lot of time and commitments.
That's a great question, Monica. Thank you so much. Hey, Pat, so what's next for you? Given I know how busy you are, and given what you've got going, man, like, I mean, you can go on for probably days around just the collaborations, the cross-pollinizations, the things that you're doing. I mean, I'm already buying now a motorcycle, it looks like, and I'm buying myself a new watch. I mean, the list goes on. It sounds to me that you're not just a stand for the urbanization of cool things, but also the futurization of all things. But what's the most exciting part of the portfolio as you look ahead?
Definitely making that as a brand. The distribution side is really interesting. So this is the plan. I think I'm going to continue doing that for a lot of time. I got two options, like every entrepreneur, selling my company or continuing. I think I'm going to continue to do that all my life and grow and grow and grow, because what will I do with 10 million, 20 million, whatever? I think being rich is not the key of the success. We need enough to live, to achieve our project, to buy an house, to feed the family. But the billionaires are not happy. I'm happy because every morning I wake up and I got the pressure, and my mind is crazy. I want to do a lot of things. So I think I really would like to keep like that. And I'm growing and growing. So you see the number of collaboration I have done. I have done 17 collaboration. When you do, for example, a collab like that with AMV Agusta, it's crazy because I have done nothing on the project. I just sent the renders to MV Agusta and they did the project. My next really big thing is what I call I try to be a visionary into the mobility universe. So now I'm really focused about I have created a concept which is called the third road. The first road is the road for the car. Which has been invented 200 years ago, and we made roads 200 years ago, and thanks to that we travel from A to B. The second road is the road for the air, the road for the planes, and the third road is the middle. It's the road for the drones. And in less than 3 years, we're gonna see drones flying above us. There is 52 players on the markets, from Uber, Boeing, and I have done a fantastic crazy meeting, and it's first I'm gonna conclude on that. But I'm obsessed about that. So I really, yeah.
Where do I send my deposit for this bike? Because I mean, the Agusta. I mean, where do I send it? Do I just send it to your personal account? Is that where I got to send it?
Yeah. So down to the document, you can click. There is a link.
Man, I mean,
and
unbelievable.
Yeah. So I conclude quickly on that because it's quite interesting. Have a look at a company called Hehang, E-H-A-N-G. It's a Chinese company. They are in Guangzhou. They sold 25,000 units already in China, in Beijing, and I took the license of that company, and they are making 4-seater drones. It's already available in the markets. You can fly 25 minutes with that, and you reduce the time distance by 10. So if you want to go from A to B, it's 10 times less than with a normal road. So it's a non-end story about mobility, design, and technology.
Do you have images to show us before we part ways?
Not there, but Ehang, E-H-A-N-G.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. So here's what's interesting. As you know, you come out of this presentation mode, and we get to spend the final 5 minutes with you. And I can open up the lines because I know that Monica's already asked a question. Who here has got a question? Because I know that there's a number of people that have been asking me if he will take a question. I've got Yusuf in from Germany, Stuttgart, Germany. Yusuf, you've got Patrice. Go ahead, buddy.
Hi Patrice, ça va?
Et toi, tu vas bien?
Ça va bien. Let's go back to English. I don't speak that much French.
Hold on, you've muted yourself, my friend.
All right, there you go. How do you monetize something that is thinking outside of the box?
First defining what is the first defining.
Like, how do you make money? Like, how do you get it into the market?
Yeah, that's a good question, because that's a big issue. When you do out of the box, generally you are inventing a new model, and inventing a new model, you need a lot of bollocks. You need to be able to wait till your model is profitable, and you need proof of concepts. You need to achieve things with your model, and I have personally achieved a lot of proof of concepts. I sold the boat last month to the King of Morocco for his son. We have achieved a lot of different things, but we really started from the beginning. We started by selling a bike, then a motorbike, then a boat, and now I get the confidence. And basically, we charge, we buy a product and we resell the product. So it's quite a classical model applied to a new environment. So we are not selling drones and hydroplane every day. We talk to the 1% of the 1%. But this guy, they have money. This guy, they are really interesting. There is always a product market fit. You just need to find it.
I love it. And you know what I would say, Yusuf, is that coming to know Patrice, because I'll tell you something. It's I am working with this man, and I'm delighted to do so. I'm honored. I'm privileged. But what I'll say is this: is that you create the new reality. If you Grant would always say, find a problem and solve it, or find the gaps and bridge it. But also, you could, in his world, in Patrice's world, in Tesla's world, in Amazon's world, you create the new norm. And in creating the new norm means, you know what, this is the world in which I'm going to live into. And these are all the problems that you'll have. And these are all the gaps you're going to inevitably and unavoidably have. But this is how I solve them. This is the product I've got. This is the solution I have. These are the products that we've got for sale. And if you act right now, you get to pay low before it gets expensive.
Yeah,
So,
and also never leave the field. Remember Uber, a few years ago, they were struggling with the taxi, the cities, and now they are killing it. And now when you buy a hamburger, you pay it 2 times and you're happy about it. But never leave the field. It's like if you think you're good, and if you are good, and if you are putting all the efforts which the project deserve, normally it's gonna work.
So would you say just start with one problem that you want to fix, or like one thing, and then like later go into different things? Like Jeff Bezos started just selling books. Now he's selling everything.
Yeah, I'm facing hundreds of problems every day, like every single entrepreneurs or auto entrepreneurs, and it needs to be a game, and it's like stitching and fixing. And my way of working is quite difficult sometimes for my staff, because I'm really a driver. I consider myself as driving a train, and having my partners and my investors and my brand coming into the train, and sometimes leaving. Life is like that. And yeah, it's really about the full commitment and getting the trust inside you, and at the end of the day it pays.
Listen, speaking of paying, and I appreciate that question, Yusuf, and I want to just give the last question to Naran here from Toronto, because we've only got a couple minutes left. And by the way, if you haven't taken a picture yet when Pat is speaking, I mean, if you want to join the arsenal, the movement, you want to basically take a picture or a video while he's speaking, post it, tag him, tag the Arsenal in Miami. And when you do, I promise you that this guy's going to repost you, and not just into any world, this guy's world. And folks, there's a power of proximity. Y'all get what I'm saying? So go ahead, Naran Kulathungam. You've got the last question for my good friend, Patrice. Go ahead, my friend.
Hello, Patrice. It is such an honor to meet you. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, good. Perfect. The question I have, Patrice, is you obviously have lots of creative ideas, and at the same time, you're navigating a world where information is compounding on itself. How do you take all the information, the knowledge, and your own thoughts, and how are you able to see clearly what the future holds? How do you choose what your future will be? How do you see clearly? I'm obsessed with that question.
Yeah, it's a really good question, because it's about sensitivity. You know, you need to have a feelings with things. It's like when you have a date with someone, you know your objective, and you need to get the right feeling. And regarding your question, and regarding the business side, there is making a business. It's really about a lot of elements: your product, the market, the environment, your staff, etc., etc. So you have it's like making a cake with thousands of things together and making a good cake. So I really do think that it's something you need to feel. It's something natural. You don't need to force yourself. You need to go into the flow with all of that and surf the right waves. So it's an interesting question, because there is no solution. There is a solution for everyone, and a different solution for everyone. But I think having the right feeling, and feeling the things, and developing that feeling, you can develop that feeling. You can be open. So getting a lot of cultures, learning something new every day, which is not related to your personal business, being really aware about the thing, read. It's all about that. Getting all the, if you want to have the good feeling, you need to be informed. So the more informed, the best sensation you're gonna have with the market and the thing. But it's a really interesting question.
That's a great question. Thanks so much, Naren. And by the way, as I promised, take a look. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that right there? Do you see who wrote me there?
Ah, yeah, cool.
Did you see that? So he sends you prayers, man. The man, the myth, the legend. I think I can back up a little bit. Can you see that, Steve? There you go, Steve.
Yeah, cool.
So I told him that we were on air. Hey, listen, I cannot believe that we ran out of an hour just like that. And I mean, I can talk to you forever. And you want to know something? I promise you, we will. I mean, for those who've just joined us and for those who've been watching, I mean, this is Patrice Meignan. He is the man, the myth, the legend, the brain, the heart, the gravity behind all things Futurize. If you haven't checked out the Arsenale, please do. Go to the Arsenale, follow the Arsenale, Arsenale Miami, Pat Meignan. I mean, at the end of the day, all things that are future, you want to put your brain there because that's where passion lives. That's where there's magic. That's where there's curiosity. And people, when they have a certain view of the future, they follow you. And that's why it's really cool to be in conversations like these. So, Pat, I mean, from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of everybody from around the world, from Spain, Portugal, the UK is represented here in the house, all of Canada, all of the United States, you have got fans around. We've got hundreds of people that will dial into this recording because of the time zones in which they're in. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup for all your time. We are so grateful.
No, and thank you very much. I really like doing that. And I would like to say that, guys, you are extremely lucky to be in front of Richie a few times per week. What you are doing, guys, is extremely interesting. We are in a world where we need that. We need that mentoring. We need that help. We need the pusher. We need the driver. And this guy and his crew at 10X are doing a really beautiful job.
Well, I'm looking forward to you and I boarding our very own spaceship so we can take this intergalactically. So we will be the first to 10X all things in the universe. So Pat, from the bottom of my heart to yours, merci beaucoup. To the Arsenale and the entire staff, thank you so much for giving us so much time of the CEO of the Arsenale. For all of you around the world, thanks so much for joining me. This has been a courageous conversation with my friend, now your friend, Patrice. Until next time, guys, go be great, go be awesome, get some Arsenale, and then you can be all things 10X. Be well, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Merci beaucoup.
Bye-bye.